TBM Legion, hope we're having an amazing day. And I know what you're thinking, why am I sat at a coffee table full of tools on it? Great question. Obviously I'm not a tradesman, and I will explain all, but firstly, let me tell you a little story. Once upon a time, I had a client came to me, and her main goal was to get in awesome shape for a holiday. Okay, very typical scenario. So we focused very much on the fitness aspects of their lifestyle, of their program, and we achieved their goals. Got them in amazing shape, really awesome physique, ready for holiday. Went away on holiday, had a blast, but came back and said, I'm really unhappy. Okay, bit of a surprise. What are you unhappy about? Okay, and it turned out that this person had other issues going on, which I wasn't completely aware about as a coach. And that we'd actually ended up exacerbating some of those other issues in order to get them to the goals that they came to me with, okay? And they ended up burnt out, quite stressed about other factors, and we had to switch fire to those other factors and deal very much with those. It was a big lesson for me as a coach, okay? I realised that there's never, it's never good enough to dismiss the other factors of health in too much favour of fitness or diet or whatever else they come to me to talk about. Okay, so big lessons for everybody. Now, what the hell has that got to do with a screwdriver, a hammer, and these other tools that are on the table? So this is the problem with a lot of coaching practices, and not just coaching practices, but this is a big problem that in the way in which people approach their own health and fitness development. Okay, we very much put all of our attention on the two sort of most commonly used tools in the fitness toolbox, okay, which are exercise. I know it's a hammer, but for the sake of this, it's exercise and diet, all right? And in the case of sort of fitness, what we quite often see is that people put most of their focus on this, okay, exercise, and then most of the rest of their focus on this, the diet side of things, and that's pretty much where they end up. Okay, and then we've got all these other factors that I'll go into in a second, which maybe get little bits of attention, but not very much at all. All right. Now, here's one of the problems with this. Okay, when people generally come to me to work with me, they can usually tell me that they're putting already some attention on these two things, okay? Diet and exercise, they're already doing some, right? Quite often, sometimes not quite often, okay? And what's more, when I ask them what they think for themselves is going wrong with those two things, they can normally, quite accurately, give me a pretty good rundown of what they think the problem is, okay? So with exercise, all right, main one, I'm not doing enough of it. Or, I'm doing it, but I'm not sure that my technique is correct on the exercise that I'm doing in the gym, and then we address that, all right? Or it might just be, you know, something else. Could be any number of things. Right? But then again, with diet, okay, quite often they can tell me, yeah, I know I'm eating the right things, but I'm just eating too much of it. Or yeah, I'm just snacking too much. Or potentially, you know, I'm just eating too much of the wrong things, and they can even quite often tell me what the wrong things are. Right, so with regards to this, the things that are going wrong are very rarely a lack of knowledge, all right? And there is a lack of knowledge there, but it's not the main problem. The main problem is that they need some direction, right, or accountability. Okay, so what if they understand quite a bit about these two things, what do they need me for, right? And it usually is a lot to do with the accountability side of things, right? It makes a massive difference to your chances of success if you've got a coach that you can check in with, okay, to keep you on track, somebody you've got a little bit of responsibility to, burden of responsibility to achieve the goals, and all that stuff. All right, so what are the other factors here, okay? And why do I think that this doesn't work very well? Okay, well, we've got the power drill, okay, albeit one that was first brought into service in around the 17th century, okay, but a power drill nonetheless, and quite obviously, not necessarily obviously, but this is sleep, all right? Because sleep, in my view, and not just my view, is equally as important as these two, okay? Doing good amounts of these and doing them well enough, but sleeping terribly is just as bad for you, if not worse, as sleeping really well, doing lots of exercise, but having a terrible diet. All right, so sleep, absolutely massive, massive factor. Hence the reason why it's the power drill, the biggest tool in the toolbox so far. Then we've got other factors, okay, very common ones. We've got mindset management, all right, lots of different elements to that, okay, attitude, beliefs, your relationship with all these other things. You know, what's your relationship with diet? Why is it that you're seeing it negatively or whatever? Okay, then we've got what have we got? Come on, if you're going to be here, you might as well help me out. So we've also got internal practices. Okay, so this can be any kind of self-work, contemplative time, right? The meditation, the breath work, the affirmations. Okay, again, lots of different elements to explore there. Then we've got habits and behaviours. Okay, and they may as well be the spirit level. You could say that, you know, these things are very multifaceted, but in the end, it's actually executing those habits and behaviours that are going to set you straight. See what I did there? All right. Now, what I've found in my experience, I used to also very much focus on these two, and then it was a case of, oh, are you sleeping okay? Maybe we can do something about that. You could think about meditation as well. That would be good for you, whichever one it was. I can't remember now. All right. But over the years, the way in which I've started to coach people has begun to look a lot less like this and a lot more like this. And I'll tell you why. Okay, these things, all of these things here are very much interconnected, all right, which I'm sure you can already understand, okay? But they're so interconnected that only thinking about one or two and putting all of our focus on there doesn't really work, okay? So what tends to happen, as an example, all right, if we put more attention on these, okay, these things tend to take care of themselves anyway, all right? So as an example, okay, let's say someone comes to me and they says, oh yeah, I'm motivated to exercise. I'm really motivated to exercise, but when it comes to it, I just don't have the energy for it. Okay, why don't you have the energy for it? I'm sleeping terribly. Interesting. Improve sleep. This one takes care of itself, right? Alternatively, yeah, I'm really motivated to exercise, but I haven't got the energy. Okay, why don't you have the energy? How are you sleeping? Oh no, I'm sleeping really well, but I'm just super stressed from work. Right, so stress management. Improve this. This one takes care of itself. Okay, and this is exactly how it works. Okay, again, diet. Oh, my movement's great, I'm exercising really well, all of that stuff's going really well, but I just binge every time, you know, every evening I get a little bit hungry, and I'm not even that hungry, I just binge. I just love all of these shitty, like, hyper-palatable snack foods, whatever. Okay, so why is it you're doing that? Well, you know, it's an emotional thing. You know, I'm a bit stressed, and, you know, food's just a massive comfort for me, so I tend to binge when I'm stressed. Stress management, this one takes care of itself, right? So honestly, I've found that taking care of these, my mission when people come to work with me now is not to get these perfect. It's just to get these okay and start working on these, because these are already having some attention put on them anyway. So what's going wrong here isn't the need to put more energy into this, it's the need to start putting some energy into these, okay? When we start working on sleep, we start improving mood, working on mindset, working on self-work, yeah? We start improving mood, confidence, attitude. We start working on executing those into habits and behaviours, okay? And those habits and behaviours eventually produce the outcomes, all right? Conjoined with the effort that goes into this, okay? When we've got energy going into all of these, everything becomes optimized, all right? Now, with a traditional program where you're focusing everything on fitness and diet, you might get really good results in fitness. As we saw with my client before, yeah? Everything we talked about was to do with getting diet right and getting the fitness right. Got in amazing shape. Went on holiday, came back completely unhappy. Why? All of these still at the start. this is how it works, and this is where it goes wrong. If there's already some effort going into these are the things we need to focus. Now, if you are watching this video and you can tell me what I said, most people can tell me about these two things. If you can highlight what you think the weaknesses are for yourself in your exercise program and where you think it is you're going wrong with diet, but you're still Googling the best foods to lose weight fast, to build muscle fast, the best exercises in the gym to build a big chest, okay? You're never going to achieve your goals because it's these. These are the shortfalls, all right? And quite honestly, which one was it? This habits and behaviors. I think this one was self-work, right? Mindset, meditation, okay? Mindfulness, just contemplation, reflection, gratitude, affirmations, visualizations. I mean, the list is almost endless of the things that go hand in hand with this. And this is almost always the last area that people wake up to. And when they do, they get all of the benefit. If you are still mugging off this and you're not seeing results, this is probably why, okay? So my challenge to you is to pick one of these 4 areas this week, okay? Whichever one you think would have the biggest positive impact on you if you could improve, okay? Sleep, mindset management, attitudes, beliefs, some internal self-work, maybe some contemplative time. Do you take any time to switch off during the day? Are you busy all day and then you go to bed, wake up, do the same thing? Maybe some meditation, some breath work is good for you. Or is it just that you've got none of the habits and behaviours? You know about all these things, but you're just not able to form the habits well. Pick one of these areas this week and just focus on this, okay? And don't do anything different with these for now. When you think you've seen some improvement in that, pick another one. The second one you think is going to make the biggest impact, okay? Focus on that next week, maybe in a couple of weeks, whenever it is, all right? And you will see that all of these start to improve together, and you will stop seeing just results in fitness, just results in your body shape, okay? And you will start to see significant positive impact to your real world health and performance, all right? More confidence, improved mood, more energy, being able to actually think better, managing stress, reducing anxiety, all of these other things that people quite often say that even though their body shape goals are their priority, that all these other things need some work as well. That's my challenge to you. Share your ideas. If you've got some ideas of how these have helped you, how they might help other people, feel free to leave them in the comments. Any questions, bang them in there as well. If this is a YouTube video, maybe there's a subscribe button you can hit somewhere. But take action. Don't wait until tomorrow. Tomorrow's bullshit. Today is now. Take action now. Accomplish more. And I'll see you all very soon.